Hey, what is up, Christianology fam? So, yo, we're gonna do a little digging, a little research, like we're doing a research paper or something. Look, we're just gonna look up why do people hate Trump? Like, we're gonna try and look at interviews, street preaching, whatever it is. We're gonna do that. It's a video, right? Let's check it out, man. Look, why not to vote for Donald Trump? A to Z. We're gonna play this. This is from Rolling Stones. Let me. You know these people gonna try to copyright you. Let me just know. Okay, look.
More presidential than anybody. I can be more presidential if I want to be.
Why not to vote for Trump? Okay.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. I promise.
But all these clips are taken out of context. Like, come on. They're taking out of context. Come on.
Anyone who illegally crosses the border will be detained until they are removed out of our country and back to the country from which they came.
Why is that bad? That is not bad. You're not supposed to come into the country illegally. So if you come to the country illegally, we have all the right to remove you out of this country because you don't even have a SSN. We can't track you. You don't even pay taxes because you don't have an SSN. You don't even have a green card. No identification. Nothing. That's why we need to at least detain you for a while and know who you are, or just send you back and then you come in legally.
President Obama.
He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS. We get nothing. You know, it used to be to the victor belong the spoils. Now, there was no victor there. Believe me, there was no victor. But I always said, take the oil. They said, what do you think about waterboarding? I said, I like it a lot. I don't think it's tough enough. Well, I think the only card she has is the woman's card. She's got nothing else going. And frankly, if Hillary Clinton were a man, I don't think she'd get 5% of the vote.
Well, first of all, you have a great governor who's doing a fantastic job, Rick Scott, on the Zika.
And what's wrong with that?
Not going to have it under control. He probably already does.
And he just put it in our coffee or something, yeah.
That's it. That's why people don't want to vote for Trump or like him. Let's look up other videos. Brian Cranston says MAGA could be viewed as racist remark. Okay, look, why did he do? Look, okay, it said, what did he do to make people hate him so much?
I got to ask you a question about Trump. I can get on and talk. I try not to talk about Trump at all. People know you supported Trump, and I try to say to them, listen, this is not a personality contest for me. I liked his policies for America. That's it. Yeah, he's not going to date my daughter. I don't go out to dinner with him. We're not best friends. I don't go to Mar-a-Lago. This is one I liked his policies. End of story. But I forget about him. I don't talk about him. I say something with this current administration, immediately, they don't even see that. They come back at Trump. Mm-hmm. What is it what did this guy do to make people hate him so much?
It's very obvious. It's very obvious. I mean, you and I sat there and we spoke one time, and you told me about something you learned from your dad years ago, Sonny, who I had a chance to meet with him one time. We had a great lunch with him at that one Italian restaurant. And you said, one of the things I learned from my dad is to be able to sit down in front of somebody, knowing they lied to your face, knowing they betrayed you, and you still don't act like you know, and you don't publicly humiliate them. Something like that. And, you know, I'm prefacing what you said, but something like that. You remember this guy?
Yeah,
like
in substance, that was it, yeah.
So, well, Trump didn't do that. Trump went publicly and called everybody out as fake news. That means he called everybody in a blanket media, you're all liars. And he kept doing it over and over and over and over and over again. you're essentially questioning their character. You didn't say, I disagree with their policies. He didn't say, I disagree with the approach to get the economy to improve. I disagree with what we ought to do with health insurance. No. You said, you're all full of shit. You're all liars. You're all fake. None of you guys care about the American people. All you care about is your pocket, your dinner, and that's who you are, and that's your DNA. Well, guess what you did? You woke them up. And that woke mob is coming after you. Not one of them, not two of them, not three of them.
All of them.
They're all angry at you. And no one's ever done that before until this guy did it. It's that simple. You go look at Kennedy.
Man, that man's a billionaire, bro. He don't care about your feelings. Bill Clinton, Obama, Hillary Clinton, they care about your feelings because they're not as up as Trump. They still need you to help them make money. Trump doesn't need your money. Trump doesn't need the government's money. So he's standing on his 2 feet. He don't care. That's why people don't like him, because, man, if you're rich and you're arrogant like that, you don't care what peasants are saying. Like, come on. I'm a peasant to Trump. I don't make that much money like him. He would look at me like a peasant if I had an opinion or something like that. Because, man, what can you tell a billionaire that has done what you want to do? What can you tell them? You can't tell them nothing. They've done what you're striving to do. You wake up every morning to go to a 9 to 5. That man doesn't have to do that anymore. He doesn't. He could sleep till 10 in the morning and still be fine. But you have to go to work at 7. I have to go to work at 7. I think that's why.
That Kennedy and his family did that behind closed doors. But publicly, like Joseph Kennedy was like a Trump. John F. Kennedy wasn't like a Trump. The father is a Trump. You know, he was a guy that if he would have ran, Joseph Kennedy was probably not capable of running at that time because he would have talked shit to everybody. That guy was a straight up gangster.
100%.
You know, he was a feared man, but his sons learned from dad's weaknesses and strengths, right? Like even if you look at his daughter, Trump's daughter, look how she got all the strengths from Trump is like, okay, this is what my dad's good at. But look at the way she answers. Okay, you're like, oh, okay, I can see her.
She has diplomacy.
She has diplomacy, and the father doesn't have it. But you know, if we had a guy like that right now, would a Putin be doing what he's doing to Ukraine? How would that phone call be handled? They asked a question from Biden this week. What can we do about inflation? You know what his answer was? There's really not much we can do about inflation. Dude, that's not something we want to hear from the president. There's really not much we can do about inflation. There's really not much we can do about inflation. So I think that's the part with Trump where he went out on the offensive and called everyone's character out.
Well, let me add to that because I'm so glad you went there, Michael, because the whole time I'm thinking as we're talking about all these policies, issues, substance type stuff, all I'm thinking is the elephant in the room is no longer there. So Trump sucked so much of the oxygen out of the room that even if you were going to attempt to have a policy debate, no matter what it was, you know, healthcare, guns, schools, you know, the economy, whatever, everyone from the center to the left would be like, yeah, but he's a liar. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Yeah, he's not presidential. And it was such a quick response that you couldn't even have a substantive debate. What's happening now that Trump is no longer in office and the dust has settled and we're supposed to have grown-ups in the White House now, and you have Biden coming out there basically saying, yeah, you know, the gas, you know, it is what it is. Sorry. You have someone like Janet Yellen basically saying, yeah, my bad. I was supposed to use, I never used the word transitory in my life, never heard of it. And I heard it every other sentence out of Yellen and Jerome Powell, transitory. So the good and the bad of the Trump thing is now that he's not here, we can actually have policy debates. And that's what's happening in this country right now. And, you know, believe it or not, the right is winning these policy debates for the most part, right? Maybe they've, you know, on guns, they maybe, you know, hopefully it'll come around on some stuff. But everything with wokeism, transgender, economy, gas prices, inflation, it's so hard to look at the left or Biden and be like, great job, guys, keep it up. The whole premise of Biden and everyone that kind of accompanied him into the White House, into the Oval Office was, quote unquote, well, now we got the grown-ups in the White House. Is this what fucking growing up looks like? Because it looks pretty ugly. But without Trump, we're able to see really what's happening right now. And again, not a huge fan of Trump, but at least we're able to see what's behind the curtain.
But is that okay? So you just made a very good point. And I rarely say that, but you just made a very good point. And but the part about what you just said is the following: like he almost needed to leave for us to know if he was doing a good job or a bad job.
Bingo.
Yes.
Got it. And now we notice where he was doing a very good job in, and where he wasn't. And a lot of the stuff that the media was saying that he was doing bad.
A lot of people's eyes are working up because the country's terrible now that Trump is out. Maybe he was doing something. At least he was trying to do something. That's what I would say. At least he was trying to do something. Okay, let's watch another video. I really want to understand why people hate the man so much. Asians, Americans debate model, minority, and Asian hate. I don't even know what that means. Inside America is Caller can't understand why people hate Trump. Okay.
Let's see who else I can pick up on here.
Caller can't understand why people hate Trump.
How about let's go to the 917 area code, if indeed that is someone in New York City. Would love to hear what is going on there.
Is it me?
Yes, it is.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Who's this?
This is Avery.
Great. What's going on?
All good. I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I'm a software engineer, and I'm very unsure how this entire election will proceed. It seems like the American people aren't very trustworthy when it comes to online elections, and I'm unsure how voting turnouts will be.
Hold on. Who's voting online?
Online voting.
Yeah, what states are doing online voting?
I don't know. I don't know which states are going to be doing online voting, but this is my worry.
But I don't think any of them are doing it. The question is in person versus vote by mail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be voting by mail.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea.
All right, so states will transfer to voting by mail. Okay, all right.
And it's not even really a transfer. I mean, in reality, so this is an important distinction. What we're really talking about is just expanding the absentee ballot systems that are already there. Like every state already has an absentee ballot system. Some states like Oregon have been exclusively vote by mail since the 90s. So we're not really talking about creating any new systems. We're just scaling up the existing vote by mail systems that are there.
All right. Okay, it was just something that I've been quite worried about.
Yeah.
But I haven't quite done enough research in. So thanks for that clarification. But I also have another question that has been quite bothering me of late. I'm not particularly left wing or right wing for that matter. I'm more centrist, and I don't see and I don't understand why people are so anti-Trump. I sat here on the phone for 20 minutes listening to whatever his name was. I think his name was Enrique, and he was calling Trump a thief and a criminal, evil. I see people in your comments, I just read one, I think it was an hour ago, that Trump raped a 13-year-old girl. These are outrageous claims.
Well, hold on a second. Let's take a step back. Let's address a couple different things. So, first of all, Trump was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl. She ultimately, dropped the suit because it appears that there was huge pressure. But that is the allegation. To say that it's true, we don't have proof of that. I wouldn't look at YouTube comments necessarily. But listen, the reason Trump is so bad is he is incompetent in a way that is lethal. It is lethal incompetence.
100%.
So what? Are you going to say the same thing about Biden? What was this? This was 3 years ago. So this was 2020. So during the elections. This is before the election, so before September or something like that. So now, who was incompetent, Trump or Biden? Because the man doesn't even understand what he's doing at half the time. Biden. I'm talking about Biden. So now who's incompetent?
No.
He
That's why
increased
people
the
don't like him.
spending. He increased the deficit spending without cutting the budget.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him evil, or that is a political
not
football. They all do that. But the lethal incompetence, the corruption, the doing the opposite of everything he promised, the hypocrisy, the double standards.
See, with this is where I'm not quite following.
Okay.
I understand all from an economics perspective. I see and I understand what he's doing wrong.
Okay.
From a leadership point of view, I see how he's incompetent,
Okay.
how it runs his mouth, and how it could be dangerous, especially when handling people like the president of China and the president of North Korea.
Yeah.
I see all of this.
Okay.
And
Man, that's how you want a man to handle that, bro. That's why you want American presidents. Man, a guy's threatening you that he's gonna blow your country up, and you're gonna be like, let me do the peace. Let me be peaceful, because I don't want you to blow my country up. But you're the most powerful country. You're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna blow you up if you play with me. Wherever you are in China, I'm gonna blow you up. You think you're gonna blow America up? Are you silly? That's how you want your president to talk, not Biden. Like, what is this guy's name? What country are you from? But meanwhile, he's talking to the president of China. Man, I want, if you're gonna go out bad, but I want us to go out with a fight, with a bang. Like, if America's gonna get blown up, I don't care, bro. As long as we're going up with a bang, it's cool.
I'm particularly not so. I'm not a big fan of Trump for that reason. But from the left, I see a big, a big character attack against Trump. Sure, he has a big mouth and whatnot, but
okay, but hold on a second. Hold on a second. Every, let me see if I understand.
Follow.
So you're saying that Trump is terrible on economics and his leadership has been a failure, but you're not sure why the left dislikes him so much. I mean, like that's why, to the extent that you don't like the tone of the left, it's if that's really what we're saying, you don't like the way that some of the left criticizes him. Okay, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a huge deal. It's if we're going to talk about tone, we've got to look at Trump. But you said it yourself. He's bad on economics and he's a failed leader.
I wouldn't say he's a failed leader per se.
Well, you said he's terrible.
He didn't do things that for my
yeah, this call is kind of dumb. Like, bro, why would you come into the call to a little debate and then concede and be like, "Hey, everything you're saying is right," but you're supposed to say everything you're saying is not right because this and that and that. I have this evidence right here that he ran the country this way. That means everybody was. That means that inflation was down because we had more money running through the system.
Policy is okay from my perspective. He's most certainly not the most competent man I would vote for. But I don't quite understand why there's such a harsh reaction from the left.
So it sounds like you're saying
all sorts of,
you don't like Trump,
yeah.
but you don't like Trump, and you're not exactly on the same page with the left as to the degree to which you don't like him. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Well, yes,
Okay.
but that's one thing. But I mean, I don't quite understand why it's so harsh. I see the left always looking for angles to attack Trump on with the whole Russiagate conspiracy theory that lasted for years.
Well, the
They had no
investigation went on for years.
Yeah, that's true. But this whole scandal just went for years, and then it plopped on its head. And I kept hearing on the news, Russia.
Well, now it sounds like your
And,
critique is about the news, not so much about the left, right? I mean, I'm having trouble. It's weird. I'm having trouble following what your
The
argument
news is the left. Goofy.
is. I guess you just don't think the
No,
left should be
I
as
don't
opposed to
necessarily have
Trump.
an argument. I'm trying to ask you why.
I'm not gonna lie, this call is kind of dumb, bro. Move on.
Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Now, folks, how was everybody's weekend? You have a good weekend? Yeah, you have a good weekend? I had a pretty good weekend. Not as good as Donald Trump's weekend, but still pretty good. Now, here's the deal. In case you don't know, in case you're coming to us from under your rock, I hope you're all sitting down and you...
With 60 minutes, man. But yeah, bro, we did a little investigation on why people hate Trump. There really isn't any reason, man. They don't really have a point to why they hate the man. They just hate him because the way he talks, the way he acts. That's it. We all have our own personality, whether you like it or not. If I'm saying something right, I'm saying something right. Whether you like my voice or my tone, if it's right, it's right. That's how I take it, man. I like Trump. I don't have no hatred for anybody because as a Christian, you can't hate nobody. That's a sin. So if you're a Christian and you hate Trump, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. The man hasn't killed nobody. The man hasn't done nothing. He will be locked up if he was. You think liberals, if Trump really did something, they wouldn't have that man locked up in a month? Come on. If that man really R-worded a 13-year-old, don't you think he would be locked up? Because all the court systems are filled with liberal people. Because again, most people in this country are not real Christians. They're not real conservatives. They're mostly liberals. So if Trump really did something bad, he would be locked up for life. Because they want to see Trump down bad.